Most cases, a lot of companies, because the complexity of the units, if they can figure out what the problem is, they recommend full replacement, which that can be insanely expensive, right? Do we want to replace systems? Of course. I mean, we all do. But that's not our main focus. Our main focus is actually to take care of the customer, repair the unit, keep it running for as long as possible. And when the time comes to replace the unit, then obviously we make those recommendations.
When the sun hits hard and the day turns mean, house feels hotter than a July dream. Pick up the phone, you know who to see. Call Wrangler AC. Wrangler AC will cool you down from San Antonio porches to every side.
So what is this job?
So we did a maintenance, I guess like a second opinion. And a lot of other companies, they'll try to get a replacement on the unit when it just needs some upkeep maintenance. We're gonna change a contactor, a weak capacitor, and then we're gonna add a flow switch. And that's it. So yeah, that's what we're installing. Brand new capacitor, turbo, and contactor, and then inside she didn't have any overflow safety, so we're gonna put that.
So, in the HVAC world, there's a lot of folks think in this scenario, a company, another contractor came to visit this customer. They diagnosed the unit. They said that it was the capacitor, and if I'm not mistaken, they installed an inexpensive part.
But I didn't fall last time.
You want to go next? Man, you're older than me.
You made it. Whew. Simple repair. Safety first. Both of these out. So we came on a maintenance and found this is pitted, so it's gonna start to weld itself shut. So this is, I guess, would be on the preventative side. Like I said, this was just a regular maintenance, and we gave her some options. It's just what we can do to, I guess, extend the life of the unit versus just replacing it. Like I said, they just moved in, so they just wanted to make sure everything is working the way it should.
Most capacitors are decent capacitors, but just like everything else in the world, you have capacitors that are really, really good, well made, that can last years. And of course, you have the bottom of the barrel capacitors that can, if you're lucky, you might get a week out of those things, right? Because the quality is just not there. And we, on the other hand, we only stock one kind of capacitor. So we only stock turbos. And the beautiful thing about turbos is they come with a standard 5-year warranty on those things. I mean, they're very robust, very well made. And again, they have a very long warranty. If something is well made, it's going to have a long warranty. If it's cheap, then you pretty much get the tail light warranty, right?
This right here, this is a universal good capacitor. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be replacing this old one right here. All right.
So what are we going to do with that one?
We're going to be doing the 20 and the 25 together, right?
Yep.
So see in this one right here, this is a 45/5.
Yes.
So what we're doing, we're going to be jumping it 20 and 25 to make that 45.
Servicing the units is probably the single most important thing a homeowner can do to their system. Look at it this way, right? If you own a vehicle, you want to have oil changes regularly, right? You want to replace the air filter, that sort of thing. You want to have all the fluids checked. It's the same thing with an air conditioning unit. I mean, if you're going to compare an air conditioning unit to vehicles, an air conditioning unit runs a lot longer because it pretty much run, most of the day. Preventive maintenance is very, very important. It should never be skipped. And I believe, well, it's not just my belief. I mean, this is what manufacturers recommend, is that the AC unit should be serviced at least twice a year.
So you made your 45.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can look at your panel there. You look at what's coming off of your compressor. All right, compressor. Yellow is your start, right? So yellow is gonna go.
There you go.
Okay.
And then we have the commons would be
And
the
then your
middle.
commons go in the center. And that's all she wrote. The cool thing about this, a lot of other companies, they'll put like a generic freaking capacitor. Like this one's probably I don't think this is original to the unit, but they don't last. Plus this one comes with like a 5-year warranty, so.
Because you want to have peace of mind that especially your refrigerant count, the refrigerant levels need to be what the manufacturers want them to be, right? You want to make sure your coils are nice and clean. A clean coil means an efficient unit. It can, cool your space a lot quicker, and it will shut down quick, right? So you want that unit to run as least as possible, because the more it runs, the more energy you burn. Your drain line, obviously, you want to make sure your drain line is clean, because a clogged drain line can turn into a lot of headaches. And there's obviously, on the PM, we look at everything, right? From the integrity of the electrical connections, the amp draws on the motors and all that. Everything about the unit is looked at. But definitely, if you had to pick a few things that are very crucial, PM is obviously your refrigerant levels and the conditions of the coils, because that can affect airflow quite a bit.
You're going to be using that?
Yeah. What I like to do is I'll let the capacitor hang and just put the zip tie by itself. And we'll zip tie it, and then.
Oh, you want to just...
Yeah. Just let that guy hang. And then here you go. All right, I'll take this guy out. I don't need this no more. Put that disconnect back up, close it up. And we try to get back down off the ladder.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, that's it. Now we're just gonna go put that overflow safety switch. Like I said, she just moved in, so just have peace of mind that even if they're not home, the unit's running. If it does get clogged, they can not have to worry about water damage everywhere.
If a customer is going to ask for a second opinion, it's my belief anyways that there's only one reason why that is, and that's obviously lack of trust. We do our best to prove to our customers what it is that we're talking about. If we make a recommendation, you know what I mean? We can actually prove it, again, utilizing or leveraging the link-up technology that we use. We can actually show the customers everything that is happening within the system. And they can actually see it from their phones, from a tablet, a desktop. They can either be in their living rooms or in their office somewhere. But we provide that type of technology so that they can actually see exactly what's happening. Second opinions obviously are important, but I believe that second opinions become a thing when there's a little bit of lack of trust. They don't trust what you're saying, right? And obviously, at the end of the day, I think it's a good thing. It just reinforces pretty much what you're, telling the customer, right? Obviously, if they get somebody that knows what they're doing, they're going to pretty much tell them exactly the same thing that you already previously explained to them.
I have a tiny little room.
So this guy's gonna go right. That's gonna be a tight squeeze, but we'll make it work. And that's it. So your unit's back up and ready to go?
Thank you. I told the
When we show up, we do our best to diagnose the unit and to try to get the unit running, right? If we see that it's a major component, let's say a blown compressor, right, or a blown evaporator coil on a 15-year-old system, well, at that point, you know, we make the recommendation of replacing the system. But at the end of the day, if the customer wants to replace that compressor, replace that evaporator coil, which we strongly advise against, but if that's what they want to do, that's what we're going to do. At the end of the day, we're there to take care of the customer's needs. Oh, well, I mean, I hate saying that. Well, I mean, what the fuck is that?